All right, I'm Joanna with Blissful Baby Sleep Coaching, and I am on the phone with Alicia, who is a client of mine since September 2017, which is amazing because it seems like just yesterday that we started working together. And so Alicia has a totally fabulous story to tell you guys and something really funny. So I'm going to let her kick it off with her fun thing that she wants to tell you.
Hey everyone, I'm Alicia. I am a mom of three little ones, 4 years old, 3 years old, and 1 year old. And I am coming to you live from the East Coast. It is 8 p.m. I have clean hair. My kitchen is clean. My laundry is folded. I have a glass of wine, and all three of my little babies are sound asleep. And this is thanks to Joanna with Blissful Baby Sleep Coaching. And my journey with Joanna started, like she said, back in 2017 when my first child, Emmett, was about 16 months. 16 months and waking up every hour during the night. And I waited to contact Joanna until he was 16 months because that's when I was ready. And I was a very emotional first-time mom, and I had to be ready myself to overcome the hurdles of tears in particular in order to be successful at sleep training him. And so from there, Joanna has successfully helped me in getting all three of my kids sleep trained, sleeping all night long, and napping during the day. And with each one, it got easier for me, easier for them. And now, like I said, I can enjoy my time, my very important time, at the early hour of 8 p.m.
Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you how happy that makes me. When a mom says to me, this is my time, my house is quiet, and I can do something for myself, it is literally the happiest thing you could ever tell me as a sleep coach, because it's possible. You
Right.
guys, she has 3 children, ages 4, 3, and 1. She has clean hair and a glass of wine in her hand by 8:15 p.m. It can happen. And but I think what Alicia just said that was so important is that with her first child, Emmett, she called me at 16 months and they were exhausted. And they're both healthcare professionals. So they have lots of training and knowledge and access to resources, tried and failed, debated within, the two of them debating about how to do it, when to do it. And so it got to the point where it was like, okay, please somebody guide me. But I think that what you said was so important was you as mother had to be ready. And
Right.
This is what I always say to my clients is that there has to be this fusion between readiness of the baby or the child, right? Because you can sleep train children from 6 months all the way to 6 years of age, right? So it's never too late. Okay. So some families will say, but he's 18 months, he's 2 years. Is it too late? No, it's never too late to learn your sleep skills. But not only does the child have to show the readiness for that independent sleep readiness, but the mom has to be ready. So I love that you said that. So what do you think it was about where you got that match between the child and you being ready? What would you recall, or do you have that feeling?
I think it was pure exhaustion and really inability to go on any longer, and also the marital conflict that it had caused. I think that we both had the same goal, but we couldn't figure out how to get on the same page to be successful with that goal. And I think it just got to a point where we had to do something in order to continue to function.
Yes. And by the way, that's super common. So those of you that are listening to this and thinking, oh yeah, me and my husband are kind of in disharmony around this topic, very, very common. And one of the most important things in working with a coach is one of our main goals is to help bring a united front so that there are no 2 a.m. arguments, that at 2 a.m. you're high-fiving each other because what you're trying is successful and it's working, and you're smiling at each other, and not arguing and having a tit for tat argument about who did what last night and who did better the night before, etc. And it is super common, and that is usually sometimes a really good time to get extra help when the disagreements are happening in the marriage, because the reality, like you just said, is you guys agreed that you needed to do something.
Right.
It was the how to do it was where the disagreement came. So let's stop disagreeing on something you already agree upon. That's always what I say to families. Like, there's no need to continue to disagree on what you already agree upon, because there's help to be had.
Yeah.
So how did you, again, this was 2017, which was 3 years ago. And every year, sleep coaching becomes more popular, more in the norm. Do you recall what you were thinking or feeling, or what you had heard about coaching? And how maybe that's changed for you over the years to actually go and get help in this vein?
I knew that I wanted the gentle sleep coaching approach. I was not someone that could do the close the door and cry it out method. And so that's what attracted me to your business the most. I just love the idea of you getting to know my particular child, his personality, and that you were there to help me kind of study how to change things based off of how he reacted to what was initially suggested. So I felt like it was a very customized plan, and I felt like I had your support really 24/7 going through the process. And I think that initial time with the first child is what helped give me the confidence to then start the process earlier with my next child. And then, because with my second child, I started when she was 7 or 8 months old, and, was just as successful. And then with my third child, I started when he was 5 months old and was successful. So I think this progression just goes to show that, I in myself becoming more confident, it allowed my kids to learn these ever important skills of self-soothing, self-regulation, and being able to, physically get a good night's sleep, which we know makes them healthier, at an earlier age with each child. So
yes, definitely. And that then, with the children getting good sleep, then of course, especially right now, those families that are living the life of COVID where all children are home. So all siblings are home.
Right. Parent
is home. When you have children that have been up all night, and, then you've got more sibling rivalry and things like that can happen. But yes, I loved working with you, and I've just loved the evolution of your, I'm going to call it courage, because, as a mother, we have to kind of grow into ourselves and to know when it's time to do the thing that you need to do. And each time you saw the readiness in your child. So first it was more about your readiness.
Right.
And probably the child was ready way sooner.
Oh,
and then with the second child, you identify, because I remember so distinctly, like talking to you when your daughter was around 6 months, and you're like, we're not there yet, but I think we're getting there. And then right around 8 months, she's like, okay, I'm now seeing her readiness, and I'm really ready because I know it's possible. And then by baby boy number 3, it was like, oh yeah, he's so ready, and I'm so ready. And then it was like, again, that fusion. And then again, the fusion with your husband being like, this is united front. We're doing this, because he did a lot of the coaching, and that was just amazing. And now here she is, you guys, 8:15 at night with a glass of wine, a quiet household. She's well rested. She just showered. She's clean. She's fresh. Her chores are done.
Yep.
It is possible.
Yep. Yep.
So thank you so much for sharing your story.
Yeah, of course. I have my like little 2 cents advice would be, it's never too late to start, number 1. And number 2 is, it's okay to mess up and restart. because I feel like we all have our sleepless nights, or we get sick, or our child gets sick and you get thrown off. And it's easy to say, okay, it's just easier to just bring them in bed with us and just, then we'll both get sleep, and then you fall back into these bad habits. But I've done a lot of 20-minute tune-up calls with you as well, whether it's from after a sickness or after vacation or something, and you can easily within a couple nights get right back on track. So don't feel ashamed or embarrassed if you fall off the wagon.
Yeah.
Or if you just think that, it's just too late, and you're pitiful for starting when you've let your child go on so long. Just know that it doesn't matter when you start or how many times you restart, you can still be successful.
You know what? Thank you so much for bringing that up, because one of my main goals is to take the shame and the guilt out of helping your child develop healthy sleep habits. And the reality is that regressions happen, and they happen for really good reasons. Developmental milestones, illness, travel, schedule disruptions, moving. And when we're going through life changes like that, it's inevitable that sleep crutches will pop back in. But it's always possible if your child has foundational sleep skills, which is what I do when I'm working with a family. Our whole goal is to have your child learn the skills of sleep for life. And once they have them, then when a regression happens for good reason, and again, no guilt or blame if it happens, within anywhere between 3 and 5 days, they are right back on track, and it's amazing.
Yes.
And so I love that you said, like, don't worry about it if that happens. Cause a lot of families will be like, well, if I sleep train and I go through all this effort and then we have a glitch, then all that effort was for naught. And I always say, no.
Right.
No. The rebound is so much faster when they have the foundational items. And then again, just this iteration that it's never too late to help your child learn a new skill, right? So for example, like, just if you start to think about sleep as a skill, you start to realize, like, there's lots of skills your child will learn over the years, right? So from all the developmental milestone skills, such as walking, rolling, walking, etc., to things like riding a scooter, riding a bike, learning to swim, potty training, like all these things. And then later, like tennis, soccer, golf, like, right? We would never say to ourselves, oh, it's too late for me to learn a new skill. I would never say that to myself. And I would never say that to my child, right? So if I have a 5-year-old that has miserable sleep habits, why would I ever assume that they couldn't learn that skill? That I'm creating a scenario where I don't trust them, and I don't trust myself to be their guide. And really, truly effective, gentle sleep coaching is all about, you are their guide in the learning process, and you get to watch how your child learns. And it's really amazing. And wouldn't you say that's kind of helped you parent as they've gone through other learning portfolios, like
Oh, yes.
learning stages?
Yes, it definitely carries over. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So thank you again. And I'm so happy. I'm going to let you go enjoy your wine.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
go enjoy your Netflix and your wine for the quiet house.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you.
Bye.